morning, everybody. So back to this piece. If you haven't seen us working on this piece, you just need to scroll back through our Facebook and look for lives on stenciling and painting. I am going to attempt using the Dixie Belle Sapphire Pearl Glaze. This is what it looks like. And what I've decided is I'm going to try to put a little bit on top of this stencil now that it has dried. And normally I wouldn't go live trying this. I would try it at home first in the studio, which is my dining room. Hi, Mom. Mom, I'm going to decide to try and use one of your favorites, Sapphire Pearl Glaze. If I tip it over more. Hi, Flo. We are not open yet. We are open today 11 to 12 for pickups only, but I'm going to use my pie plate that I've been using. What I did was I sprayed some water, a lot over here, just a little bit over here, and I took a basic sponge brush and I wetted it down with my sprayer. And then I'm going to dip into the glaze and I'm going to see with different levels of water if I like it going over this. Now I know we're far away and we don't have very good sound because I'm using my phone, but we're just going to try it and then I might have to move it to show update. So I'm going to dip into this directly and then I'm going to let it drip off into this water. So I'm kind of making a watered down, and you'll see where there's a lot of water, it'll be mixed a lot, and where there's a little bit of water, it'll be diffused. So let's try it, see what kind of mess I can make. It's gonna be a almost barely noticeable glaze. Yes, I can tell already just by going over it, again, haven't done this live, that I prefer it less watered down. So let me try this. So what's happening is some parts are getting a lot of the glaze, and some parts you can hardly tell there's any glaze. So it's very subtle. Let me move in. Hey, Lara. Let me see where I'm working. Can you tell there? That's the glaze over the piece. It's watered down just a little bit, so it's a hard, and here's not glazed, here's not glazed, so you can see that it's just a barely there technique. Like, this is not going to be a huge noticeable thing. I'm going to dip right back into that with that brush. The brush has been watered down. You can also use your regular brushes, your paint brushes. I just decided I wanted to use a sponge brush on this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just applying it over the whole thing, but some parts are going to have thicker than others. So I know you guys can't see because I'm so far away. Glaze is not stain. Glaze is just a thin level. Usually glaze works better on the insets of furniture so that it can dry in those spots. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to move this. Let's see if I can do this. So you can see the glaze, there's just a tiny bit difference. It actually just looks a little bit bluer, I guess, because this is a blue color. But look, can I get this to show up? Can you see right there? See? See the bumps? Is that what they're called? This glaze will dry in these bumps and this detailing at different levels. I know, I'm sorry. I should be filming. Nope, that's not going to show it either. But either way, I'm just going to see there. See in here how it's sticking right there in that one spot, and it's sticking more so than up here? So it will kind of sit wherever it wants, and when that dries, it'll be more apparent than it will be here. See how I'm getting my brush on there? See that right there? So I'm going to wipe that off a little bit, and I'm just going to get it into those accent places. Okay, I'm going to scoot back, sorry. Not a fun live because you can't really see what's happening. But I'm just going to go around the whole piece real quick. Same brush. And some of the accenting will get a lot of the sapphire pearl, and some will get just a little bit. Can you hear my brush? There. Okay. Let me see if I can bring you closer. Hi, Marion. Oh, I don't know if this will show. See, you can see the hint of blue now, the sapphire glaze. You can see it, and you'll see in the details. Oh, I hate using this. It's a little thicker in some of the places than others, and when it dries, it'll dry a little bit lighter, but it just gives it that extra little sheen that when you walk by, see the difference between this side, this side and this side? This has glaze, this does not. Just gives it a little bit. Hi, Aaron. Just this sapphire glaze with a little bit of what I call sheen and glitter. It's not real glitter, but sheen. See the difference? It's just a subtle difference. This one does not have it, this one does. But it's enough to give it a little bit of like, what's going on over there? So I'm going to continue using the sapphire pearl glaze. I'm going to dip back in again. The brush is a little bit damp still. Now I'm going to do this side. Quick and easy. So I am going over the door, which I stenciled. You can watch that on a different live. Just scoot down, you'll see. Just applying this. Some spots will get more, some will get less. Again, I watered it down, the brush. Sorry, it's so far away. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but trust me. See how much glaze is on there? And again, it looks like it's taken a lot, but it really isn't. I think this glaze is like $11.95 or something for this jar, and this jar will last you several projects. Sorry for the rush. I'm trying to hurry before we open up. We're opening up for pickups today from 11 to 12. And trying to get done a little bit before that. All right. Gonna just get that on there, and you can layer your glaze. If you go over it, let it dry for like 20 minutes. Do another coat, it'll pick up more places. So I'm gonna do the glaze on the accenting bumps. That's not what they're called, but that's what I'm gonna call them for now.
Ooh, what you doing?
I'm adding glaze.
Hey, everybody.
This is Jason. Say hi to Jason, and I'm gonna add a little bit more glaze off my brush on this side. So let me bring the camera in again. Sorry, it's so hard to pick this up on camera without making you sick because I'm moving. Let me see if that's picking it up. Can you see now? Oh, there. See how it's picking up that sapphire glaze just here, a little bit in the accenting? There. So when that dries, it's a clear, pearlized sapphire glaze, a hint of blue, hence the sapphire. Pearl because it'll be iridescent. And you'll see some places, you'll see where I painted this white with a little bit of black hitting it and then accenting it with the glaze. So now both doors are done. Same thing here, come on, focus camera. And you'll see, it's just a hint. And I'm gonna go over the other door one more time. Again, if you just logged in, we're using Sapphire Pearl Glaze. And I'm going to go over just the accents of this door. And because this is a sponge, it's loaded up now. When you press in, just like any sponge, more comes out. So I'm going to press in some spots to get a little bit more on the places I want to see it more. So you can really go back and accent ones you want accented more, if that makes sense. If you want a little more, just touch it up. I'm even going to put a little bit on the door handle here. It's just a hint. I'm gonna go all the way around. Sorry, I don't know if my camera's gonna pick that up. I'm just taking my brush flat now and getting some of that excess out. And that'll give it a pearlized, iridescent sheen just around the door base. Trim, whatever the word I'm looking for. Now I'm painting sideways with the brush, just letting it offload. Again, it's a very subtle application. Doesn't take long, but it'll make a big difference when you let it dry. Just that one little step. Hey Rob! That one little step will make it pearlized and shiny and a little bit of iridescence. When you walk by it, it is a neutral, as in it's white with a grayish black stencil applied, but that little bit of sapphire, now I got the top on it, sapphire pearl glaze. Hi Andy, good morning. Love you Andy. It's $11.95. I just applied a little bit with this brush. You can get these at the dollar store. You can get these almost anywhere. I could have used my regular brush, but I just decided I wanted to use that for the flat parts. Again, let me make you a little dizzy. We'll see if this will show up. See in the accents where that sapphire glaze is really still wet and on there, and it's a little bit thicker here. Sorry, I'm moving than there. When it dries, it'll just be a little bit of hint, and I did put it on the door too, which is very subtle. You can hardly tell. A little bit on the door edges. When it dries, it'll be a little bit more loose. What am I looking for? Translucent is the word I'm looking for. See here? Okay, I'm backwards. There. Sorry about the filming. This is making me dizzy too. A little bit more here, and even though that looks like, oops, there's a lot there, when it dries, it'll be subtle, it'll be nice. So there you have it, just a little bit of glazing. I am probably, and I hardly used any. I mean, I still had this whole jar full. And this is a 4-ounce jar. I think that's the only size they come in. This will last you a long time because glaze is just to give a hint. You know what? I see what I want to do. Let's see if I can scoot this back, or maybe, sorry. You see what I see up there, huh? I still have the glaze on my brush. I just dipped it back into the pie plate. I had added water, remember? And I added a little, what I did is I added some of the water onto this. I'm extending it, and you see this up here? It's got that great detailing. So I'm just turning my brush flat, and I'm getting this piece up here has actual insets and detailing, and so the glaze will sit in there and really make it pop. So I'm going to do that, and I know you can't see me down here, but there's two little accenting pieces at the bottom. I'll show you, and I'm just turning my brush sideways, flat, and letting it hit. Matter of fact, see this right here? This has some accenting because it's detailing. I'm going to turn my brush flat. Again, I am only using what's left over in this pie plate. Why am I using a pie plate? Because that's what I had. I forgot to bring paper plates, and plus this rinses right off. So I'm going to take my brush flat and go up and down. And that glaze medium, because it's iridescent, pearlized, it'll catch in those insets. Sorry, I know, I hate filming whenever it's not professional, but it's gonna be hard to tell. This has insets, this little thing, because the bump it ups, and you'll see some of the glaze. I know it's hard to pick up. So when it dries, it'll be pearlized. Can we get to that top piece now without getting too dizzy? There, see it? See the pearlized piece there? Some of that will sit in there, and when it dries, it'll be a little bit less obvious, but when you walk by it, it'll be pearly, and you'll be like, it's just like walking by a piece of, I don't know, a piece of furniture, because it is, and just a little bit of like, ooh, is there a little sheen to that? Hey, Barbara, So I'm going to add a little bit of glaze over here now, because this one also has the accenting. I'm turning my brush this way. So I am painting with this surface here. And you can see these cheap brushes break. Again, this was probably from the dollar store. It breaks because that's the tip, and see how it's breaking? That's why these are cheap. But I'm using not the tip here that you would paint with. That's what I did first. I'm using this side, and I'm just going along it because it's a sponge and it'll squeeze out. Hi, Molly. Hey, Molly, thank you for being a nurse and taking care of all of us during this crazy time and putting your life at risk for the health and wealth of everybody else. All right, so now I'm turning my brush sideways like I was going up, down. I'm still going sideways, but I'm offloading a little bit more of that glaze. It's catching into all that detail. I'm letting the piece do the work. Hi, Deb. When you let the piece, good morning. Again, this is a cheap brush. It's breaking, hence why these are throwaways. It breaks. It's going to be brushing, and it's the sponge. I'm using this side to paint with, and when I go across like this, the accent pieces will grab, because I'm pressing in a little bit, will grab that sponge and it'll catch some more than others, and that's what you want with the glaze. So again, still have this much more left on the plate. Just kind of sopping it up like gravy or chocolate syrup. Oh, sorry. Who else has been eating too much because of being home, and because Jason makes great desserts. I'm gonna go catch that. There's a little bit of a drip here at the top. I want to catch that. I'm gonna add a little bit more. This will dry shortly. I'm gonna add a little bit of glaze here, a little bit of glaze here, here. Can you even see that? Here. Again, I'm using the side of the brush. This is what's left over. The majority of it went on to the accent to here. These are little beaded dots. So even though you can't see, I promise you, it just gives it that little bit of extra. A little extra bling, but not a garish disco bling, more of a classic little sheen. It's pearlized. So it's not glitter like, but it's pearlized iridescent, just a hint. So when you walk by this piece, and depending on the lighting in your room or your office, because we want this to be a coffee bar or a regular bar, you're just going to get that hint of, whoa, what is that? What is that little bit of a sheen? Almost like a seashell or oyster shell on the inside of it. That mother of pearl effect, hence pearl. That's the effect we're going for. So it is barely there, but it's there. I still have more on my plate. This is when I tell you to have other projects sitting around. If you had a piece of canvas, you could just put this on there so you don't have to wipe this out. You actually use this, or put it on a painting you have just to give it a glazy effect. I'm just going to load up my brush again, and I'm just going to go over some of the spots again because it's already drying, and I'm going to give it a different layer. So as I go along, I'm just adding more just wherever I want it. Don't have to be precise. See, I'm just offloading my brush onto this piece. So some places will have more. It'll all have a little bit of a sheen, but some of it will get more than others. So I just keep offloading. Sorry, I know it's hard to see because I'm down here, but I'm just taking the brush, offloading. I'm going to catch these drips. There's a little bit of a drip underneath this. I'm going to go sideways here, sideways here. A little bit on the hinges even. There. So again, I used hardly any. Hi, happy painter. So again, just use this. I want to buy everything you show. Well, happy painter, I consider you a true painter. You actually paint art with girls and beach scenes and loving musicians, and you paint. I am just painting furniture. You are a true artist. I love you, Janie. All right, again, still a little bit left on the thing. And actually, if you wanted to, you could even reactivate this. I don't know if you can tell. It's hardly, see the sheen? If you add a little bit more water, it's gonna drip down. It's hard to catch that. So I'm making it last and last. You know how, like, when you bake, you use an egg wash to do the top of the crust. Hence pie plate. I have a little bit of egg wash left over my plate, so I am reapplying just here and there. And because it's faint, like I said, it'll pick up more subtly in other places. So it is not precise. You could even wait a day or two and let this dry, and if you wanted to emphasize more, you could add more glaze, less watered down, full strength, and go and just do it in spots. Like you could choose spots. Like this whole area here could have more than here. But I like just letting the brush and the piece do the work by just going over it and letting it choose where it catches it. So, all right, you guys, where are we at, Jason, time-wise?
10 minutes.
10 minutes before we open for pickup, so I don't want to be doing a live while we have people, and yes, I do have, I don't think you can hear me very well this on, but maybe you can. I'm using this for COVID, not because this does not smell at all. So this does not, like, you know how paint and polyurethane, although have smells and they stink and they give you a headache, this has no smell. So, all right, so let me just come in a little bit. I know this is gonna make everyone dizzy and ugh. Can you see how that has more? I know that looks like a mistake, but when it dries, it's gonna be much fainter. This, woo, I can't go backwards. That has more, this has less. These little accent pieces, see it now, are picking up the sheen more here. There's even more here. See on the door where it picked up some, and up here in those accents, it's just gonna be a faint pearlized sheen with a little bit of sapphire. Hence sapphire pearl glaze. All right, you guys, is there anything else I need to say besides RedwoodSquare.com, theothersidevintage.com? Please check out our neighbors all around Redwood Square. If you haven't, go to Facebook, go to Redwood Square Art District, and watch the video that Kayla and Jeremy King just did. Hi, Corey, Lacey. My family's here from Georgia watching. Hey, you guys. Go to Facebook, Redwood Square Art District, and watch the video that the Kings just made live of First Friday last night. It was not on, but they walked around the district and interviewed some of the store owners and actually kind of do a virtual tour of Redwood Square Art Park. And you'll get a kind of a hint and behind the scenes kind of look at RedwoodSquare.com. I keep saying that just because that's the website for Redwood Square. But check out on their Facebook page. Check us out on Instagram to purchase items. Brooklyn will be taking lots of photos and more stuff that we can ship out to you. Most items. Speaking of which, I think she's here, so I'm going to just turn this a little bit so that she's not on the live if she doesn't want to be. And shop with us through Instagram, eBay, Etsy, and Instagram. I already said Instagram, sorry. Brooklyn, we're live. Do you want to be on?
Sure.
Okay. She said, sure. There she is.
Hello.
Brooklyn, I just took this glaze that's pearlized, and I know you can't tell, but I just add a little bit. It looks like a hot mess now because it's not dry, but when it dries, it'll just be a pearlized sheen. Mom says, great job. Corey Lacey's watching from Georgia.
Hey.
Corey and his cuz, yeah. Deb is here. Andy is here. Who else am I missing? Sorry, Janie.
Hi, Mom.
So again, I just touched it up with some of this, and Brooklyn, like I said, she's gonna be taking pictures. So go to our Instagram, shop with us on Instagram, and we will ship out to you most items. Some things we can't, but hopefully we will. Thank you for watching. I know that was kind of boring, but that's glazing. It's really easy. It's fun to play with. And yes, kids can help you because if you get it on your hands, it's water-based. You just wash it right off. And I'm going to go rinse out this plate. And so that's how you do it. It's very easy. By the way, if you get it on the spot and you don't want it on the thing, this is a baby wipe that I just put in this bag. I spray it with my water into the bag so the baby wipes stay damp for many, many days, and you can just take apart, and if you don't like, let's say here, if you don't like that, you can just gingerly wipe that down and you'll get a little bit of the glaze off. So do that while it's still wet. Once it dries in 20 minutes, you can still maybe wipe it off, but not really easily, and after a day, you're just gonna have to paint over and start over again. So you really can't mess up. It's very sheer. You'll probably even want to add more, so wait a day or two and add more. Okay, that's just another step as we go on adding to this piece. Thanks for watching. Shop local, Tallahassee strong. Thank you.